Hello and welcome back to Everybody Loves Raiken, our 5th edition live play that meets on Tuesday nights. Last time we met, the party was, let me see here, they had made their deal with the Tritons. They made their deal with the Tritons, and the Tritons began to take over responsibility for the army. And so they passed the rest of the day into the evening, reconvening at dinner. And here they had a chance to discuss everything that had gone on, their next moves, consider what they will do about coffers, what their resources are. And it was during this dinner that a couple of things came to light. One, Raiken was still having his mind assaulted by his brother Tatsuya, so Laramendus went to get the simulacrum to perform a
wish to sequester.
Perform wish to sequester the talisman that contains Tatsuya's soul, in hopes that that will end his influence. Further down that conversation, Seltharis becomes curious about this relationship between Raiken and his late brother. And decides whimsically that she wishes to involve herself in the interpersonal relationships of the people. She is bound to help by the oaths she swore when they brought her back to life months earlier. And she does this, she finds her joy by encouraging bad behavior among them, including wanting to see if Raiken will kiss Laramendus, and then dropping hints to see if anyone will kiss her. People go back to their respective activities now that the training of the army is no longer their responsibility. Jebel and Bendar off to make potions. Leah goes to take a walk. Laramendus, Raiken, actually, and Jebel, technically, in this case, went off to begin parsing through the documents in the past to see what coffers changed before he left. And Raiken went to train, and it is when Leah came back that she delved into a conversation with Seltharis that kind of dug into the whole, growing up history of family trauma, sharing that kind of trauma, that understanding of each other's pain in life, which resulted ultimately in Seltharis explaining that the scales that the party uses are not simply the scales of the chromatic dragons used to overpower them. The artifacts themselves contain both the chromatic dragon scale and the corresponding metallic dragon scale. And it was created by the sacrifice of the chromatic dragons, the metallic dragons, the children of Bahamut, as a bid to finally break the stalemate between them. Now, this is a story that the party, minus Laramendus, had been told, perhaps in different or less detail previously by Tresnor, but now verified from a primary source as Seltharis, the gold dragon child of Bahamut, was Seltharis' mother. And Seltharis showed interest in being able to see her mother's scale. So they went out to interrupt Raiken's training regimen with Kubriel, and she took a moment away from them to say something to the scale in ancient Draconic that Raiken tried to eavesdrop on, but was unable to get more than the very most basic gist. Talking to a deceased loved one. Beyond that, he couldn't get any details. Seltharis thanked him for, giving her the moment to do that, and then insisted that Raiken buy her a drink, saying that she would be buying him a drink, reciprocating. So, that is where we pick up. Leah, I do believe that you had gone back to the room to...
Yeah, but I sent Lorelei after him.
Right, you sent Lorelei to spy on them, so unbeknownst to them, Lorelei is Faye on the wall. So, Raiken, you are here at the bar with Seltharis, who is inhabiting the familiar form of the tiefling with golden horns and golden bangles and a golden dress that you saw back at Arngahir's Oasis months earlier, the day after you and your party resurrected her. And from Ruby, she has ordered you quite a strong drink, and has indicated that she wishes for something similar for you to get for her. And so you sit there as she kind of swirls the concoction in the mug before her and sighs semi-contentedly.
Is it a pina colada?
If she likes pina coladas.
I don't know if that's strong enough, considering that she's indicated she wants something strong.
Yeah, I'm sure she means a little stronger than that.
Super pina colada.
Super.
A double.
Get a nice Long Island, but like super Long Island.
And, as she seems to contemplate the drink between taking drafts from it, she seems to tire of waiting for you to say something and says, "Your daughter is quite the spunky one."
Yeah, she's always been a little spunky ever since she joined up with us, but I feel like I've rubbed off on her a lot more.
Do you think that is a good thing?
I mean, do what they say, like father, like daughter.
Do they say that?
I don't say the other way around.
Well, I mean, something like that. It's I don't think it's a problem though. I want her to feel confident in doing what she wants.
What does she want? Do you know?
That's a good question.
So you don't know.
I don't right now. At least I don't know what she wants to do once the dragons are taken care of. But that is something that I would like to ask her. See if there's anything I can do to help her fulfill it.
Do you think that there is something that should be done before even the dragons are defeated?
Oh, well,
Everybody,
definitely.
I ask because all of you great and powerful heroes have seemingly put your lives on hold until after the dragons. Everything is after the dragons. And while I don't think that this is entirely a wrong way to go at it, obviously, the dragons are a problem. It needs to be dealt with before great other things can be done. I am left to wonder.
What we're all going to do once we finish
No,
the job.
I wonder if it's well to push everything off until after the dragons. I mean, I think that you will succeed. She puts up a hand, saying, "Let me say first." But if you do not, then would you not regret not having done any of the things you planned?
I don't really have any plans, to be honest.
You do not find that to be an unfortunate state of affairs?
I don't really look to the future. I live in the moment, and for the moment, it is taking down the dragons and being a good champion for Cord.
I do have to wonder if you would indulge my curiosity. Did you pick Cord, or did Cord find you?
Maybe it was a bit of both.
You do not remember.
Well, of course, I was brought up with the teachings of Bahamut,
Of course.
but it didn't quite reach me. I just couldn't quite agree with everything. And just one day, I came upon the Temple of Cord and saw the sparring and decided to check things out.
They do not spar in the temples of Bahamut, where they train their paladins to fight evil.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, they don't.
Yes. They do.
Oh. So what was it about this particular sparring that interested you so much more deeply than that which you would have observed even your brother participating in the Temple of Bahamut?
I think there's a certain connection you can have with your opponent in sparring, and it's something that Cord and his teachings gave me compared to what Bahamut would teach.
So, when you will challenge enemies on the battlefield, you are making this connection, warrior to warrior, mutual respect, shall I assume?
Yes.
Yeah.
Even if on the real battlefield it can come to death, you still have that connection up until that moment.
I see. And this mutual respect that you feel for your opponents, does this extend to all of your opponents?
It will not extend to Bala, if that's what you're getting at.
It is. It is what I am getting at. So, you will fight Bala, and you will fight her in the name of Cord, but you will not respect her as an opponent the way Cord wishes.
I cannot respect her with what she did.
Tristan,
Yes.
how far in feet are they? Like they're in the bar, I assume.
Yeah.
So how far away are they away from Leah?
From Leah herself, if she's up in her bed?
Yeah.
Exact number. Okay, so, according to that, about 40 feet. Is that still okay? You need 100 as your limit, right?
I need 100, yeah.
Yeah, so you're good. You can directly watch and listen to this conversation while you sit on your bed through Lorelei's eyes. And she is invisible.
Lorelei's.
So yes, you're able to see it from any angle you like as she's able to become invisible, and she's very good at hiding. Do you think that Cord will continue to approve of that if you have no respect for your opponent?
Well, I believe he has known my thoughts on the matter for a while now. And this was even before I was made his champion. I feel like if he did not approve, then that would have maybe stopped him from helping me reach the armor and become his champion.
This is a possibility, yes. It is also possible that the gods don't tend to interfere nearly as much as you think they do. But it is a possibility that you are correct, and that Gord, for some reason, wants you to do this thing. I can imagine, knowing what I know of Gord and his teachings, which admittedly I am no paladin, so you are the expert here, that he would encourage such a contest of strength and wit and what have yous between the two of you. I have seen that his temples always discourage killing one's opponent, but I know that Gord has encouraged the defeating of enemies to end conflicts, to determine a final winner. This was true even way back when that human used to do it. Ibiki. That was her name. Well, she was a
Yes.
fighter.
Oh, I have heard the stories.
But you did not see it. You know, I have
I did
been
not.
the guardian of the East for a very long time. And so, Ibiki was from the East. She was from Orlos, before it was covered in sand. I saw her fight, now and then. I had to, of course. She was interfering in conflicts that I had to oversee. I'm rather glad she did, for it meant that I did not have to interfere.
I bet she was a great champion.
You do not plan for the future, as you said, so it would be worthless for me to ask if that is what you wish someday to do. Charge into battle against two sides of two armies, defeating all of them, all among yours, all by yourself.
Well, I can't say that I don't dream of that, but at the same time, I don't necessarily want the world plunged into chaos and absolute war and anarchy. I just want to do my best, whether it be sparring or if I need to fighting, to help spread the word of Cord.
Help spread the word of Gore.
And to make the world a better place for Leah.
Now that is a good goal, I should think. I have many children flying the skies of this world. I hope that I have made it better for all of them as well. I think a lot of them would tell you perhaps, not me. They do not speak to me these days, not with such insolence as to say that I do not care for them, that I do not come and make sure all is well for them, because I am too busy making sure the world is well for you.
Well, I appreciate that, but it kind of saddens me that you are not able to check in on your children,
Oh, they are
at least every
petulant.
once in a while.
Do not listen to them. I check in on them. I just do not shield them with my great wings, the way I shield your kind, for you do not have great wings to shield you. They can take care of themselves.
Well, I mean, I can produce wings, kind of. Just not very big ones. Not like yours, of course.
Well, then perhaps I shall draw my protection so you can prove yourself.
That would be fine with me. I'm always looking to prove myself.
Prove yourself in every way, huh? A true Cordian.
Indeed, I told you, his teachings and words stuck with me.
Well, that they do. Every god needs their champions. I cannot deny. It would be quite the honor if I had someone so devoted to me fighting in my name. Though, I imagine Cord must be pleased.
I hope so. And it's good that I have Cord. And I found Cord. I don't think I would have been a very good champion for Bahamut, but my brother and Yukikaze, I think, both helped fill those roles for him.
Do you think it was Cord that brought you your family now?
I think so. I think he had at least some way of going about it. Maybe perhaps with Bahamut and the other gods that the others follow, maybe they all came together so that we could.
Perhaps they did. So you thank Cord for your friends and your daughter.
I do.
I respect that. She'll raise her mug toward you.
He will do the same and clink it.
Winky.
Clinky!
Drinky!
Clinky!
I know how this song goes.
Any challenge a Cord champion must meet, isn't that so?
Yes, that is the teachings of Cord.
She's going to lean in while tapping the counter, and you're going to hear Ruby as she refills the mug. She's going to, those golden eyes right up to yours, says, "What if I challenged you?"
Well, I guess I would happily accept.
She'll raise...
What is your challenge?
She'll raise the mug. Say, "I challenge you first to drinks."
Let's go.
First you must lose the belt. She winks at you.
What? For drinks?
You cannot really get drunk while wearing it. Please, I can see the magic upon it.
You are very perceptive.
I would not have lived 3,500 years were I not.
Very well. Raiken will unclasp the belt and set it aside on a neighboring chair.
You are going to enter into a drinking contest with this woman. You are going to need to make Constitution saving throws. So, please roll your first one for the first round of drinks.
Constitution saving throws. Okay.
Is Seltharis your ally in this moment?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, no, he would still give the. He doesn't want to make it unfair.
So
he
benefiting
does.
from the aura, so she'll benefit from the aura.
Yes.
Very well. You both pound back drinks. What'd you get?
I got a 24.
24. It's nothing. Like water, this first one. even though you've had one or two before this during your conversation. She slams the cup down and waves her finger in the air, and Ruby comes back looking a little uneasy, but refills the mugs. It's a different color this time. You drink. Prost, she says.
Prost! Clink.
Drink. What'd you get?
30.
30. Excellent. You both pass. You know that, like, it's going in quick, so you're not getting truly drunk yet, but you can feel that this is gonna get harder. She, once again, slams the cup down, making this glinting golden eye contact with you, and a clever smile spreads across her tiefling face as she waves her hand in the air again, and Ruby comes back with another drink of yet a different color, looking much less comfortable as she refills the mugs and backs away. Prost.
Prost.
Drink.
Drink. Uh-oh. It's not, I don't know. This is typically a decent roll, but we're on drink 3 at this point, plus extra. So that's a 21.
21. Okay, you're still in the game. You're feeling a little. You're feeling it. There's a weight in your stomach, and it feels like it's kind of teetering you a little, like putting you a little off balance. But you put your hand on the counter, steady yourself, and make eye contact again. She's getting a little fuzzy.
Raiken's going to try to act like it's not really affecting him though. And he's just going to smile at it and be like, "Oh, I hope so. You're not feeling too woozy already. This is nothing for me."
The Guardian of the East does not back down from a challenge, O champion of Chord. She waves her hand in the air again, and another drink comes out, this one red. She pours, and again, Seltharis raises the glass to you and says, Prost.
Prost. Clink.
Drinky.
Chug. I got another 30.
Wow. It takes her a little longer to finish this one. You can't tell if she's savoring it or losing her balance as her head tips back and back and back, and you see her leaning away from the counter, but eventually, and very unsteadily slams it to the counter. Says, well, do you give up, champion?
I wouldn't be a champion of Chord if I gave up.
And then we shall need another round. What is your passive perception?
11.
11. Okay, you're fine. She waves her hand, and another drink comes. This one purple. At this point, Ruby looks scared.
Just straight up purple worm poison.
Straight up purple. Well, poison doesn't affect me, so.
It's just like, what is this? It's got a weird bite to it. But you took off the belt.
You took out the belt.
Took the belt off,
Poison can kill you.
Oh, god damn it. That's true. It was her plan
exactly
all
why the
along.
belt came off.
It was her plan all along.
Plan all along. Alright. She raises her glass, and again she whispers, Prost.
Oh, Raiken's not going to whisper. He's literally just going to yell, Prost!
She holds it out and clinks it against yours.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go. God damn it. Sorry, it keeps falling off. There we go. Oh, yeah, I think this might be the one, because the last time I rolled this, it wasn't the greatest. 21.
21. Okay. You both, lean back from the table, downing this drink, and you hear a big thud in front of you. And as you kind of, you trail one eye down and kind of see Seltharis sprawled on the floor, And you go, ha! I win! And then you lose your balance and also collapse to the ground.
I think we call that a draw. Except the dragon wins all draws, so you know.
Seltharis lies on the ground, laughing and wincing at the same time. She says, "You are a very powerful champion of court, aren't you?"
Well, you definitely held your own, Seltharis.
It has been some time since I engaged in such debauchery. I am perhaps out of practice. Oh, this floor is more comfortable than I thought it would be.
You're not wrong. Ruby, good job on this floor.
Thank you. I keep it very clean between customers. Try not to get it less clean, if you would. And...
Oh, I'm fine.
Yes. You look very fine from this angle, actually. Perfect health.
What was that last drink?
The purple one.
Yes.
I really don't feel comfortable telling you, but it's very powerful. It's,
I must know what finally defeated us.
Look. Y'all aren't city guard or anything like that, are ya?
No, of course not.
I'm not technically supposed to have it, but before the Mages Guild, she, swipes stretched out fingers in front of her neck. They used to dabble in a bit of alchemy, and I could pay them for the results of it. They had been distilling different toxins to see what they could ferment. This one was a kind of a amalgamation, if you will, of the purple worm poison and some other things, with the more lethal effects, boiled off.
I think there's soon going to be a new request for Vindar.
I see. Don't worry.
I can turn it into alcohol.
Cha-ching. Your secret is safe with me.
Yeah, do us a favor and keep that under your scales.
Can't hide it from me.
Somewhere, Vendar, as he's working on his concoctions, his ears perk up a little bit.
I can hear you through dimensions.
Felt the disturbance in the purple worm.
God.
He knows all.
No, I like the idea that the thought of removing the lethality of purple worm poison in Vendar is just like, oh my god, what? No.
Why would you ruin such a perfect...
No, because if you remove it, then maybe that means you actually, just take it away, which means you have it separated from the rest of it.
Yeah, it's called distilling, and then you just take the rest of it, you sell that as alcohol.
Yeah, you take the concentrate it, and then you sell off the waste as alcohol.
Oh my god.
It's the byproduct.
You've never hung on to the byproduct of, you're making poison, distilling your perfected poisons from it, so it's not outside the realm of possibility. That's exactly how this is done.
Vendar is going to get into the two biggest industries of the world: war and alcohol.
I'm gonna be in everything.
The booze wars of the next 10 years. Some of the kitchen staff are going to appear above you, and through concerted efforts of multiple of them, 2 or 3, they're going to get you back on a stool and leaned over the counter. They also gingerly help Seltharis in her much more manageable tiefling form into the stool, and she, rests her elbow on the counter and sort of smashes her face onto her wrist and looks up at you a little bleary-eyed. Just, well, you passed my first challenge. That must make you feel quite well.
Oh, I feel like a champion.
You already were a champion.
What is the next challenge, then, if that was only the first? To make it up the stairs?
As a matter of fact, she's going to, unsteadily push herself up from the bar. Before she just sighs and says, "This will not do," and she performs a complicated gesture, and then places her two hands below her throat, and you'll see light pass through her, and she sort of seems to steady, her eyes clearing some. Says, "There, that is a bit better."
Hey, are you cheating?
No, challenge is over. I can do as I please. Put your belt on or whatever.
Oh.
Also, just touch yourself.
I could just touch myself.
When I think about you, I touch myself.
You want to touch myself? Yeah, Raiken will touch himself and then put his belt on.
Alright. Through use of 5 points of lay on hands, you completely remove the toxins from your body. You do feel that they had a bit of a lasting effect, as you lose 25 HP from ingesting all of these poisons, but you are otherwise fine. You also note that your lay on hands was more effective in removing your drunkenness than whatever it was that she did. She seems to have returned herself to a buzzed state, as opposed to falling over herself state. The second challenge is to get Seltharis up the stairs.
Oh, very well. Raiken will attempt to pick her up.
You grab her. She's very light, but she seems to protest a little. She doesn't exactly struggle or make you drop her, but she protests somewhat and says, "No one carries a god so uncarefully."
What? I'm being careful.
One must be reverent when they touch a god.
Is she picked up this point, or is am I still am I at the point right before I pick her up?
She wasn't expecting it, so she's a little drooped out of your hold. It would behoove you to set her down and try again.
Okay, Raiken will set her down.
She was
this time.
slumped out of your grip like a cat that didn't really want to be picked up.
And then we'll put his hand to his fist to his chest and kind of bow a little bit, will you allow me to carry you up? Oh, great Seltharis.
And you'll see her straighten herself up significantly more, though you can still see that there's a little bit of a wobble to her. And she says, "Guardian of the East will allow this treatment."
Thank you for this opportunity. And this
Honor.
time you will...
You are welcome for this honor.
He will, this time, more carefully and gently pick her up.
you princess carrier. She was expecting it this time, so she
Yeah.
doesn't droop out of your arms. She looks, just a little haughty, like arms folded, seated across your arms. Now,
Alright,
staircase.
to the staircase.
As you're heading up the stairs, she's going to make some sounds of discomfort, and, she wiggles a bit in your hands. Says, "What is this? Why is it poking me?" And she's going to, kind of dig around between your bodies and come up with the red sphere, the Pokeball.
That
Based
is...
on how I was expecting that to go, vast improvement.
That is the contraption that would allow me to kind of unsummon Kubriel, but in effect not actually unsummon her, so that I could bring her out whenever was needed.
Strange kind of thing. I am not familiar with this magic. Who chose these colors? Red and white are so gaudy.
Oh, it's not so bad.
She will direct you to the room, and direct you to place her on her bed.
He will do so.
She's still examining the red and white ball, as you do so.
God, I'm reading the comments.
There are comments?
On the start. No, on the
Uh-oh.
start. Yeah, so Raiken will gently bring her down onto the bed. You seem quite fascinated by that.
It's just a strange kind of magic. I am studying it. As you go to, sit back on the other bed, you're going to feel a resistance to your moving away, and you'll notice that the long tiefling tail is wrapped around your waist.
Well, it is the only one of its kind.
She, kind of sets it down next to the pillow and looks up at you and says, "Very good, champion. You have passed my second challenge. Will you accept my third?"
Well, as we've said before, I can never turn down a challenge.
I'm going to clarify. Lorelei stops following them after they get to the second floor and goes back to Leah's room.
I mean, they're in the room with you now.
Wait, they went to the same room? I thought they went into hers.
No, she's always been staying with you.
Yeah, she's in our room.
Oh.
Seltharis is
So the
camera
plot thickens.
I love the camera turned. Nope, they're in the same room you are.
You've been looking through Lorelei's eyes, following the...
I was
Like,
if
wait a minute.
you knew when they were coming up because of Lorelei, so you could sprint into the mansion.
Find someplace else to be.
That's a very good point. Yeah, the mansion. Yeah, I would do that.
Also, I expect Lorelei's still following. You're just not paying attention. Based on past actions.
Lorelai's like, this is gonna be good.
I just
relay every
imagine.
You feel free to watch all you want there, but I'm not.
Oh, yeah, I just imagine Leah's watching through her eyes. She notices going up the stairs. She's like, "Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck!"
Yeah, basically. So he
Dive!
disconnects and runs into the mansion.
A butler, an unseen servant, just comes up and offers to take whatever outer clothing you have. Take your coat, take your hat.
I'm in my sleeping dress.
They offer to escort you to the bath.
They're gonna say offers to take your dress.
It's like, no.
She is going to reach up toward your face at that point, grabbing around the point where your jaw bends up to meet your neck and pull your face toward hers.
I thought you were still talking about the unseen servant, and I was very concerned.
Very concerned. True. Jumped back to the other one on ya. Surprise! It becomes plain what her third challenge is intended to be, Raiken. What do you do?
Raiken will get into the bed with her.
Oh, the whole thing creaks with your added weight. It's pleasant.
I plan to win this challenge. As well.
I would not have taken anything less from a You're the right mortal. And sloppy makeouts begin. Now, about a minute into sloppy makeouts.
Oh no.
You're going to start hearing a little tink, tink, tink. Tink, tink, tink. Like somebody pitching... like somebody pitching little stones against a window, accompanied by just a tiny little voice.
Oh no!
Anyone out there?
And suddenly you realize that Seltharis had told you the ball was red and white, but if Kubriel's not in it, it's supposed to be all red.
What color did you say it was?
I am gold.
No, I meant the ball. Raiken's in a position where he hasn't turned to look at the ball yet. It's facing away from it.
She's still, running fingers over your scales and pulling you into tight embraces to kiss you. And she says, "Oh, it was that gaudy red and white. Why?"
Kubriel's not in there.
So what?
It's only
this
supposed to be.
Kubriel, this is about us.
It's only supposed to be partly white if something's in it.
All right. Well, so what? This is again not us. Are you all in this challenge, champion?
Seriously, don't get distracted. Deal with that later.
Tink, tink, tink. Tink.
Oh, I am completely in. Just give me 1 second. And Raiken will literally turn, grab the ball, and just stuff it into the bag. Get up from the thing, put the bag, stuff the ball into his bag, and then go back. There,
Well,
that distraction's gone.
You go back to your makeout session, the bed creaking all the while as you roll and match each other's freak, until just a bare maybe 2 minutes later, where things are really starting to get heated, when you hear that telltale as the energy spills forth from your bag, painting the whole room in red, and Cyrus materializes on top of you, just standing there.
Oh God!
Cyrus, you materialize in this room. You notice that the ground beneath you is unsteady, unstable, and soft? And you look down to see that you are standing on Raiken's back as he is shirtless and in a bed, and there is someone beneath him.
Cyrus, what are you doing here?
So, upon realizing what's happening, and I'm going to regret the consequences of this action, but this is what's going to happen, I'm going to cast Teleport, thinking anywhere but here, and we'll see what happens. You just need to be not here.
You're still affected by chaos, so I'm gonna roll a D100 to see if either of these people ends up going with you in your teleportation.
Oh God.
Be hilarious. End up in the middle of the ocean. Just swim back to shore.
I don't even know if I have enough spell slots left to get back today.
What's
feel
your
like there's-
favorite number between 100 and 0?
The only appropriate number for this case is 69.
All right, I love it.
You know that's the only appropriate number for this situation.
Nice number.
Well, we got 9 squared, which is almost nice. So you're taking Raiken.
Nah.
Boof. All right. So what do I have to roll a d100 to see where you end up?
To see where, like, if I'm, like, off target or anything, but I
Yeah,
don't really
you
have a
didn't have a
target,
target.
so, wing it.
Wing it. I love this. You end up at your
I
mother's
knew I was gonna
house.
regret this. What?
Oh
Your
no.
mother's house.
Oh, joy.
Oh no.
You
The naked Raiken.
you teleport yourself and Raiken, you riding him like a surfboard, and you appear on your mother's dining room table in this posture.
While she's eating.
I need to figure that out real quick because it's late here and it's that way in time, so it could technically be breakfast. It's breakfast.
Ooh.
So,
She's getting
I think-
some sausage with her.
You
we
pop
found
into
with-
existence riding this mostly naked dragonborn on her breakfast table while she's eating, and you just hear, "Good heavens!" and just a smash as she falls out of the chair trying to get away from whatever's just happened here.
I believe the follow would be, oh fuck, why are you here? And then teleport him back to the lodge. 'Cause I have a thing for that.
Before he kills you.
So, what, you shove him to the book to teleport him back to the lodge?
I had a 7th and an 8th level slot left, this was the 8th level.
Oh, okay. So you're just going to explain what you're doing, because I'm not following.
He's like, why are you here? And is just trying to send him back to where he came from.
Okay.
Starts trying to teleport him back to the
So you're casting
inn.
teleport, but you're casting it on someone else and not yourself.
Yes, which I think I can do.
Check it.
No, I can't. It's me and up to. Gosh darn it.
So, are you going to stay here with him while he has basically no clothing, and try to explain this to your mother, or are you going to panic, try and teleport back?
I guess we'll roll for it, because I'm not really sure.
If you had rolled 69, you would have taken both of them with you.
Of course. So I'm going to, I guess, actually, I think I'll just take us back there, cast invisibility, and just run out of there as fast as I can, 'cause I don't have other teleports.
So, you're going to cast teleport to take you and Raiken back.
Yes,
Okay.
they'll have
Without
to be ascending
explaining
in a
anything
moment.
to your mother. This
God.
poor little halfling on the ground seeing her son riding a naked dragonborn on her table.
I'll explain in a minute. And
It'd be hilarious if Raiken got left behind.
Does Raiken have to be willing to go with you?
yes.
Raiken, are you willing to get teleported again? As at this point, I'll say the chaos isn't there anymore.
Raiken doesn't know where he was teleported to, so he probably is hoping he will be willing, because he's hoping that
Then it'll be undone.
Yes.
Okay. You
No.
take Raiken with you. So now you have to roll to see if you're on target to go back, I believe.
I think I have an associated object for the end.
What would that be?
I don't remember what it was, because we
Steal a doorknob.
got it a while ago at this point.
Well,
Did
it's
you like
less than a
steal
month.
silverware or something?
Yeah, it is less
I
than
know
a month.
I did that for the lodge.
Yeah, I remember you did it for the lodge. I don't know if you've done it for high or low.
Hi.
13. It's high. So, you do have something that can get you back to the lodge. Now, does that make it 100%, or does that just improve the roll?
Associated object makes it 100.
Okay.
In other words, it would be 75%.
Where in the lodge do you want to be?
I mean, I'd probably have an associated object either from the room or from, like, the dining area. And I'll let you pick which one that is.
Alright, high is room, low is dining area. It's room. Okay. And I have to get my Cyrus back because I deleted him. Here you are.
And he'll just run out saying, sorry.
You poof back.
Haste, don't fail me now!
You poof back on a random bed. You are still riding Raiken like a surfboard, and you jump down off of him, apologize, and run for the room. You can see the bewildered-looking Seltharis on the bed in the corner as you leave. Seltharis will rise to an elbow and look over at you, and then, you know, look meaningfully toward the door, and then back to you, and just goes, "Perhaps we call this particular challenge a draw."
Raiken will kind of like get his senses, his bearings back. So it's like hear her look over, and then kind of smirks a little bit and just says, "Coward."
I had too much to drink, and you have too many friends.
Well, you're not wrong.
Let's go to one of the rooms in the mansion.
Consider yourself a lucky mortal and tell the tale of the one who drew in challenges against the great Seltharis. I will allow this.
Thank you. I will indeed. If it comes up, I'm not going to. I don't necessarily just tell.
She's going to offer you a smile. You could see that there's a little like, okay. You can tell that the mood has been entirely demolished. Just gone, obliterated this mood. Somebody cast Disintegrate on it. She just sort
This is why you just chuck the Pokeball out the window.
I did think
there was no window.
Isn't a window. I thought you might pitch it through the door.
The door wasn't open.
I said through the door.
Yeah, you're right, Ken. You can chuck things hard enough. You know, go past the you can't from table days.
I'm not breaking the Pokeball.
Might have been worth it. You'll never know.
She'll nod at you and then just sort of roll over. It is late at this point. It is very reasonable for people to be asleep, if not heading towards sleep. So, given that, that was hilarious to me. Anyway.
Yeah, Raiken's going to go to sleep, but he's going to make a reminder himself to punch Cyrus when he sees him again.
Maybe his mother will help you beat Cyrus up.
Speaking of which, once it gets far away from the building, he'll start working on sending.
Okay, send me the sending.
I will.
Now then. Vendor, actually. Raiken Jebel Laramendes. You are over in Tatsuya's old room with Simula Amendus, going through documents in your spell. It is now, evening. You know that You should not be interrupted, because even once the soldiers come back, they're just going to bed. Your responsibilities to them are taken care of for the foreseeable future, so you have until you tire and need to go to bed to begin doing this documentation. And so you do begin that process. I want each of you, Larry, you can give me 2, to give me an insight roll and a perception roll. Checks for insight and perception and history. 3
I think Larry
Yeah,
Mendes
stand
has
back.
gone away. For cat.
Yeah.
Okay. The other 2, give them to me then, because I was going to summarize this portion anyway.
Other 2, you mean?
Raiken and Jebel.
No, Yuki Kaze and Jebel.
Yeah.
Yuki, Kaze, and Jebel. That time I did do it wrong. Like, said the wrong name, not thought the wrong person.
You
Unlike
said
last time, where I thought the
insight-
wrong person and said the right name.
You said insight and what else again?
Insight, perception, and history. 3 checks. And put them in the chat so that I can see them.
Yeah, my dice apparently are stubborn today.
What is this? Oh, that's my ball. Where's the other one?
Yep, there's some good stuff in the snark, as always.
Alright. Insight, Jebel, 25. Nice. Perception, Jebel, 29. Nice. History, Jebel, 17. Pretty good. Insight, Yuki.
I have no pluses to history, so
That was good then. Good roll. 4, 5, 19.
Yeah, I don't have any pluses for the first 2, and my dice was like, get wrecked.
Get wrecked, noob. You're sure you don't have any pluses for insight?
Negative, sir.
Okay, alright.
It's wisdom.
Yeah. Alright. Alright. So, the summary here is that the 4 of you are going through these documents, and Laramendis has basically the pile of, I want to say originals. Even though technically the illusions you're going through are older and therefore more original, they're not real. So he's got the pile of real ones that have been potentially altered, and he's basically doled out a quarter of the stack to everybody, and you're going through and locating these documents and setting them next to each other, pairing them, and then going down and trying to find the discrepancies and making note of them. And this is a massive project. Even with the 4 of you, there's a lot of documents here, there's a lot of fine detail, so it's, several minutes to go over each document, and that's even only once you've found its pair. So this is going to be a project. It will likely take a couple of days, a couple of attempts, since he can only get this place for 2 hours at a time, like once or twice a day. So, yeah, it's probably, you're not going to get through it all in this first night, but you make good headway matching documents, and Laramendis reminds you to take note of where the documents were, because when he has to cast a spell again, everything's going to go back to the way it was. So you're going to have to locate those pairs a second time. So you spend a good deal of time on this, just making sure that when you come back, you're not repeating work that you've already done. But you do find that the vast majority of pages have alterations to them. Like, even ones that that Laramendis had been the one going over when he was working with coffers. He had found those and corrected them, and you can find, verify again, this was changed. Laramendis has corrected it back, but he changed not only the documents he was going over, but the documents Laramendis was going over. The changes consist primarily of changes to names, changes to places, changes to times, dates, changes to amounts. Anything that'll make certain things look like bigger deals than they are, make other things that are big deals look like smaller deals than they are, just trying to generally mislead anyone going through this as to what was most important to Tatsuya. Though you're not entirely certain what the goal of that, like why lead somebody off of Tatsuya's trail would be. Like, you don't know what he's getting out of that other than making you wrong in your research. And I'll go over this with Sam when he gets back. But that's what this project kind of boils down to for the next 2 hours before you run out of time with the spell and have to go to bed. You have a rough time with it based on your rolls, Yuki, so you get a lot less done. You feel a lot less confident that you found all of the changes in your pile. But you did a good job noting where things were, so you feel at least you won't have to repeat that work, just as Laramendus instructed. Versus, in this case, Jebel, who you were just spotting, like, just the minutest little changes here and there. And for the second time you do this is when I'll go over some of the more detailed information, because I did put that down to paper. But I also want to make sure that Sam is there for that. So momentarily, I will deal with Cyrus. You make the sending to your mother.
Yep.
Very apologetic.
This recording's gonna have to have a rating now, you know.
Nothing happened. I said the word kiss once. Okay, twice now.
You said makeout session.
Well, and now you said makeout session, so now we're definitely getting a
sloppy makeout
What's
session.
the rating above adult? Because it's already rated adult. And they can't demonetize me because I don't monetize my videos. Sloppy makeout session. It's true, I did say that, didn't I?
You did.
It's okay. I think we're only at like single X, maybe 2X tops. We haven't reached triple X.
Vendar's done much worse in this campaign.
Hot Jamie Raiken actually
Doesn't make it good.
On with the mother letter.
Right. I'm writing it. Alright, so you're going to get a sending back that seems to, in response to you, she says, "Oh, you have a very exciting life. I'm very glad to see you intact. I believed your father when he told me, but and then she ran out of words." That's as smoothed over as it's gonna get.
Yeah, a third visit may be needed in the near future.
You had gone back since exploding.
Yes.
Yes.
It happened mostly off screen, which is why it's not as memorable.
Which is why I didn't remember it. I apologize.
You're good.
I might amend that later. Anyway, so, you all finish your research project in that the spell has no duration left and it becomes quite late. So, you return to the room. Yes, Yuki and, Gibble.
I suppose so.
You find Seltharis asleep in her bed, Raiken is asleep in a bed. I don't think that it's his, but it might be.
It's like Cyrus is out of spite.
I can't remember. I don't remember what bed Raiken had.
I do remember it was over in that area because it was next to Leah's, so it might even be the right bed.
It might be the right bed. I actually think you might be correct.
You know, it's just quiet in here. There's only the two of them. You going to head to bed?
Late enough, is it?
Yeah, it's late enough.
Yeah.
Yes. Bedtime.
All right. Leah, you're in the mansion. You go to bed there.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
She already did, but you know, she's trancing. So.
Yeah. And finally, Vendar, you were making stuff. You have the boots that let you try to stave off sleep. Are you going to utilize them?
I never did roll before. Did I?
You did.
'Cause I don't think I slept. Did I?
But you didn't sleep at all today? You went straight down to the... You didn't, did you?
Well, yeah, because I didn't get a full night's rest. I got like a half night's or whatever.
Right.
You know, I didn't get the benefit of a full night's rest.
Yukikaze is gonna shuffle around in his bag before he goes to bed. And then if people are around me, they'll see me munching on something real quick. Then put my bag, seal my bag up, and go sleep.
Muncher. Yeah, I think at this point the excitement of working on these new projects is going to get overwhelmed by the actual tiredness that is overpowering the magic in the boots, and you're going to find that you need to go to bed, or you will end up, face down, probably in the flame that's heating your calcinator.
Yeah, and I'm hurt anyway.
True.
So I'm gonna take a full rest.
So
last time I was full, I was full anything, so I wasn't gonna get anything from a long rest.
Right. So you're gonna try and get a real rest this time, huh?
Yeah.
I do want you to make me a saving throw with the advantage from the boots, just to see if you're going to have a second level of exhaustion to fight through, just because I'm going to say, staying up through the day, you gained one, but barely noticed it.
Sam's back.
Alright. Deal with that in a second. Thank you.
And it's just
It's a Constitution saving
it's a
throw.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got a 19 then.
Okay. So you just have the one level of exhaustion, so a good night's sleep will get rid of that. Are you going to sleep in the mansion, or are you going to go back to the real world?
Mansion.
Mansion. All right. You go, probably bathe,
Hanford.
fall asleep in the bath, and then move on to the bed with the help of the servants.
Yeah, Vendar was used to this kind of life when he grew up. He likes it again.
Just needs to continue having a friend that's a wizard capable of casting 7th level spells.
Yeah. I suppose I can make something that's like a simulacrum that's permanent for you.
Terrifying. So Sam, just to summarize, you took your group, which was you, Simulaire Mendes, Jebel, and Yukikaze, and you started the research project in there. You had 2 hours to do this, so you very quickly realized you were going to have too many things to go through, even with 4 people, to do it in 2 hours. So you spent a good chunk of time locating the matching documents and noting where they are, so that you know exactly how to start, save all that time the next time you do this to just go straight to the comparison. You get through some of the comparison. You'll see in Ping channel that there were 3 rolls made by the other 2. So if you could make each of those twice, once for you and once for Simulaire Mendes.
I will give Simulaire Mendes the honor of going first. His insight is 13. His history is a 12 on die, but I need to remove Ash and the circlet. So his history is a measly 21. And what was the other one?
Perception.
Perception. His perception. It was a 2 on die. His perception is an 8.
Okay.
For the real deal, turn my items back on. My insight is a 13.
Nice.
My perception is next for everyone. So my perception is a 19, and my history is a 26. Thank you for recording those.
Yeah, so you're confident, at least, that you're spotting a lot of them, and the ones that you remember, the things that don't match up, seem to mesh with reality, you're catching, although you are convinced that you lost a lot of time with setting up the system of finding these documents again in a much more efficient way, so you feel like you might need to go over these documents again, just because you might have missed a couple of things. But what you are noticing is that he was thorough in that any time a name was used, any time a place was used, any time an amount was used, all of these were tweaked. Sometimes they were tweaked a very small amount, sometimes they were tweaked a large amount. It seemed like in the worst cases, he was very much trying to downplay anything that was big enough that somebody might look at it and go, this was something Tatsuya cared about. He spent a ton of money on this. No, he changed that to a small amount. Okay, that's not so important. He only spent 10 gold on that. Or if there were several documents that pertained to one person, the name would be changed to other random names on all of them, not always to the same name, so that it would not appear that he was talking to the same person over and over again to downplay their importance.
Yeah.
Same with places and locations. So that's the gist you get, though you haven't gone through and gotten all the corrections. You're going to have to do at least one more session of this, 2 hours long.
Makes sense. I think that that's probably as good as Larametis was hoping for. 2 hours is not a lot of time to do the mind-numbing task that this is.
Yeah. Like, if you have all 4 people again, you think you might be able to accomplish it in one more session. Without those 4 sets of eyes, it's going to take you more sessions.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where that puts you. So it becomes time for normal people to go to sleep, and you see that your party is doing that. The spell ends, and Yukikaze and Jebel head for the room to turn in. Are you also going to turn in, and then are you going to do your trancing in the room, or are you going to go back to the mansion?
I think Larametis is going to thank everyone for their assistance with this. And I think he's also going to turn in, because he's fairly spent of high-level resources at this point. What's the status of the room when we get there?
When you arrived in the room, as I described to them, the room is empty, but for Seltharis in her bed, back to the rest of the room, and Raiken, facing the wrong way, in a bed that might have been his, also appearing to be asleep.
Okay.
It's quiet, but those are the only 2 people in here, and it's late, so either Leah and Vendar are off elsewhere, or they're sleeping in the mansion.
Yeah. I think that Larametis has most frequently been sleeping outside of the mansion, just in case word needs to come in, so I think that is what he would do.
Okay, so he will stay in this room. Very well. I placed you and Simulator Mendus in those remaining beds, though I don't know what you really want to do with Simulator Mendus.
I think it just sort of stands there somewhere. Laraminus doesn't actually. I think Laraminus doesn't tell it to do anything, so it doesn't know what to do. It. I think if there's an empty bed, Simularaminus will lie down in it, in like the miming of sleep, because it feels like he should need to, when in fact he doesn't. He's a construct.
Does he mime sleep, or does he like pantomime prancing?
Like the Simularaminus is pretending to trance.
But he is failing greatly because in his quote-unquote trance, he just stares at real Laramendis the whole time.
Like, I could be the real one.
Oh no, it's like that episode of Star Trek where Picard goes to sleep and Data's just standing there staring at him.
Oh boy.
Similar Mendes is Laramantis' sleep paralysis demon.
Just sits on his chest.
Alright, and so after a short while, Cyrus, you come back?
No, I think I'm gonna go to like the edge of the island, pop open the house box, and sleep in that tonight.
I know.
Alright, you are not eaten by a purple worm.
Excellent.
Yet. They have to travel
Never
farther
mind.
because we're farther away from the desert, so it's coming.
Yeah, that's-
I will say that as you press the button on the house box, you throw it out in front of you, this, I believe it was copper box, etched with arcane symbols, they begin to glow as you see the light drain into it from the gems at its corners, and then poof, boom, big cloud of white smoke, and this building appears. And you notice immediately that the building is huge, like mansion-sized, and the door is over 10 feet tall. You can not reach the handle of this thing.
Huh. That's different. I get myself some dragon size, get up there and open it.
You open it and you move inside and find that everything is sized for a large creature.
On the table is a cake.
Large but not
It says
huge.
Large but
That's-
not huge, and there are signage, just like before. All of it is written in Gnomish, but this time it's bilingual. There is a second language up there.
Is it? I suppose I actually can only speak Common and Draconic in this at the moment.
Probably. If you became a dragon, you're limited to
Yeah.
that. But
So
perhaps-
currently I can only speak Common and Draconic. I guess I'll go back to Cyrus for a minute just to check Elvish, Halfling, Primordial, and Undercommon.
it's none of those.
Huh. Kind of expected it to be the same size as before. And the fact that it's large, mildly annoying, because it's one size too small for a dragon, two sizes too big for a halfling.
Yep, this thing is just inconvenient all around. Otherwise, the thing seems to be laid out almost exactly the same way as the last time you summoned it. There's a few
Alright.
beds inside, there's an area to cook in, it's got levers and buttons that, you remember. One starts the hearth by opening a portal to the plane of fire, and one fills basins by opening a portal to the plane of water. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. 1 second. Six. There's one. I have no clue how bad this is, so we're gonna use inspiration because that was not a good roll at all.
Does an adult dragon have,
Oh yeah. I can actually just use that.
so you succeed?
Let me see what the total was, so I know whether or not one has to get spent.
Legendary, what is it? Legendary resistance.
The total was... I forgot dragons are better at those saves than I am. For obvious reasons. 14.
14. Nope. So you'll use
Okay,
a
so
legendary
then-
resistance to succeed instead. You succeed. You feel a tugging on your mind. You're able to overcome it, push it down, ignore it. But you feel a tugging on your mind that entices you to fill the basin with water.
If I'm dirty, I'll probably fill it anyways. Get cleaned up for the evening.
Okay. So you work the lever, and the basin begins to fill with water. As the basin fills with water, and you're watching it fill, preparing, to dunk your hands in it and wash your hands and your face, just sort of freshen up, you become convinced. You see eyes and a mouth looking at you from the surface of the water. These deep-set, dimly glowing yellow eyes and this stretched...
If there's any way for me to shut
mouth.
that off, dispel magic, we're shutting that down as hard as we can. I have enough water creature-related problems.
You throw the lever to shut off the water, and you grab the base and go to toss the water out the window, so it's not in the cabin with you anymore. But as you do, you hear just this small gurgly whisper saying, "Cyrus." And then there's nothing.
I'm gonna have to do something about that one of these nights.
Haunted.
Look, here comes a consequences of my actions following my row. Alright.
I'll probably still try and sleep.
Okay.
There are a few large humanoids I could try and shift into, but as long as I can get into the bed, I don't think I'm gonna go to that much effort.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you can put a little elbow grease into it and climb your ass into this giant bed.
Maybe use the Cyrus rings, flap myself up there that way.
Yeah, you could do that. The room is big enough that you could get a couple flaps to get yourself high enough off the ground without worrying about smashing into a wall or the ceiling. Alright, so all of you will gain the benefits of a long rest. Leah, is there any particular hijinks you want to get up to in the middle of this night?
No, not this time.
Not this time? A little worried you'll run into your dad?
She's,
I'm a little worried I'll run to her dad.
Yeah, you
she
should be worried.
she stays in the mansion. Yes.
When you do rise from your trance after 4 hours, you're going to have Lorelei, kind of sitting there at the edge of the bed, just sort of dangling her feet over and sighing.
How did it go?
Well, it was funny, but didn't really get to see what I wanted.
What happened?
Cyrus happened. Right in the middle of everything. Ruined it. Ruined the mood.
What? I need full details.
I killed it with a teleport.
Well,
I think it's the greatest thing that Lorelai's disappointed in this.
alright. You know the ball that Nalia gave Raiken to put Kubriel in?
Yeah?
Well, somehow Cyrus was in it. And pops out right at the best part. I mean, like, it was about to happen. I was on the edge of... I wasn't in a seat, but you know what I mean. And all of a sudden, poof! Little halfling up on the Dragonborn's back. Just riding him like a giant dragonfly. I miss riding dragonflies.
That's a question for another day. Go on.
Anyway. So they're both like, what the heck is going on, right? Because this little guy's all of a sudden just... There he is! He's in the party now! And as they're, Raiken's shouting at him to get off because he's in the middle and, do it. All of a sudden, the little Cyrus just shrieks and poof, disappears. I guess he teleported, right?
Yeah, he can do that.
Raiken disappeared too.
Oh no.
Yeah. So now it's just me and Seltharis in the room, and she is not happy.
I guess.
Like, you don't want to see a dragon not happy. If she ever looked at me that way, like the way she was staring at the empty space that used to contain Raiken, I would probably actually turn back into a flower. And just stay that way forever.
It's safer that way.
And then, as if that isn't bad enough, that this sudden coitus interruptus happens, he reappears. Both of them. Still being ridden like a dragonfly in a different bed. At which point, the halfling jumps down and runs away screaming, "I'm sorry!" And I have never felt less love in a single room in my life. So, yeah, how was your night? Because mine sucked.
This is like quite an ordeal. I should probably have a talk with Cyrus at some point. We need to fix this problem.
We need to have a talk with Raiken, because, I need to
Oh
pay.
no, I think the less he knows about what I know about this, the better.
But maybe we can get them back together.
Parent trap this nonsense.
Oh god.
I'm not sure they actually ever were together. It sounds like more like a... what did they call it in that book? A one-night shag.
What, don't most shags only take one night? Like, what are you
No,
doing?
it was...
Like, how can you make it take more than one night?
No, more like...
You people, I've seen you.
Maybe
You
that-
need to eat.
Maybe that wasn't the word. It's like you don't stay together, you just do it and leave.
Oh. I gotcha. One night shag. Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. I thought that I thought that the opposite of that was lots of... Anyway, yeah, so that's what I saw. You missed out. No, you didn't miss out on as much as I wish you had missed out on, because then I'd make fun of you.
I don't really want to see my dad do that. I'm fine.
Funny that. Who would have guessed?
She just gets really contemplative and quiet for a little while. Just staring off to the blank wall. You can tell there's a lot of thoughts in her head, but she's not speaking them.
It's a little bit awkward.
She's so disappointed. Lair, are you gonna do anything with your extra hours?
I think that he will probably just continue doing work that he can do on correcting the things that he is confident about on the papers that he had worked with closer. Because I think that he hadn't been able to spend a lot of time doing that, so I think that that's how he would spend those hours.
Okay, so everybody gets the benefits of a long rest. It is the next day, which puts us on the 24th.
Leah will sneak out of the mansion a little earlier than the rest wake up and head down to the like bar cafeteria, called what you want.
Yeah.
Grab some food and chill there with a book.
You do so. You, as you are down there, early doing this, you will catch sight of members of the Black Rose as they seem to be attempting to spy on you. Glimpses, you don't realize at first that's what's going on, but once you've seen one of them 2 or 3 times, you realize, oh, they are buzzing around the windows of this place and making excuses to be near enough to see you and trying to hide behind things while they do it.
You need to do better than that.
They are trying.
Most people don't have the perception ability of a 20th level character.
That's never true.
11?
Mine's still 9.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Except for I'm a dragon.
Yeah, most people don't have 9. They have better.
I mean, you're not
Yeah,
wrong.
I guess that's true. Passive perception doesn't really change much, do it?
It is
sure
higher
it is,
than
man.
perception, yeah.
Unless you take feats like I did to make it higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
29.
Well, some people didn't want to miss anything. Vendar has big FOMO.
Well, if I see everything, then I have more ideas to invent with.
So you chastise the Black Rose, and they try to learn better how to spy. They get back to it. Out there, you can see that the soldiers, the rest of the looking out the window, you can see that the bivouac is empty, and the soldiers are already off training with the Tritons. But you're having breakfast. Everyone else, you rise, you get up. Laramendus, you are going to renew the Magnificent Mansion.
And the private sanctum, yes.
Alright, you do both of those.
Cast
Spend
those
the
spells.
resources. Laramendus stops pretending to trance. Got his full 8 hours, so he feels great. That's how that
The
works.
unfortunate thing is, he can't help me correct the things that I saw because he was created before I saw them, I think.
He cannot learn new things, but he can point out discrepancies. You can give him 2 things, and he can point out discrepancies between them, because that doesn't require learning.
Yeah.
And in fact, it's better if you haven't learned since then, because then you know what things are supposed to look like.
Alright. So, today is going to be spent on that. This is a point where I want to start to be able to be skipping ahead, rolling things forward. So, I need to know exactly what you hope to accomplish before going after coffers, or if that's just gonna happen now.
So, Laramendus is wanting to continue correcting things so that we have the information about who we need to contact at the Empire of the Four Queens army. Laramendus has now prepared gate.
Right.
So we would be able to just go to him wherever he actually is, or summon him.
So, party minus Leah, since you'd all be in here as the Magnificent Mansion needed to be recast.
The mansion doesn't require people to be present for it. Laramendus just needs to...
No, but they would
choose.
be... I meant the people who were staying in it got kicked out
Oh, yeah,
when
yeah,
it got
yeah,
recast,
yeah.
so they are here because they got kicked out.
Well, they got kicked out when the spell ended, not because he was recasting it.
Sure, but I mean, you're probably recasting it extremely close to when it ended.
Yeah.
So, you are. Point is, you're all here except for Leah, who declared leaving a little earlier. So, perhaps you should ask one another what the plan is regarding coffers, so that I can know if this is a day
And
that
I
I can...
imagine Cyrus is still... Like, he might be on his way back, but...
Right,
since he
so
had different
Cyrus
logic-
is... I'll deal with that now, actually, thank you. So Cyrus, you're still in the cottage. It's still giant-sized, but you do recognize the lever by the door, which has been present in every version of this thing that you've seen. It's still got the gnomish there, but you recognize the gnomish, and you remember that you were told that it meant, pull this to collapse, basically. I think it said compress was the gnomish word.
It is the disengage lever.
Yes, so you're going to have to do something to get at it, because your halfling form isn't going to be able to reach and pull it.
Then I will squeeze the dragon. That way.
Okay, so you poof into a
Right.
big dragon.
And I stick my tail
Bits
in,
of
pull it
bits of
that way.
dragon poking out the windows and things as you use your one claw to pull the lever, and then poof back into a halfling and step outside. The 10 seconds elapse. Boom! Big cloud of smoke. The cabin disappears, and there is just the golden box, the copper box on the ground, which you are able to retrieve. You can see the marks in the sand that people had, like, soldiers probably a little earlier had come by and noticed the thing, maybe given it a look, but moved on. You can see in the distance that soldiers are training, and you can head back to the World Over Inn.
I will see.
Upon heading into the World Over Inn, you find that Leah is sat down to breakfast. She's enjoying some nice salad and fruit type things, I imagine, Leah.
Yes.
But she is the only one downstairs.
How was your evening?
What evening? Last night?
Yes. Day.
Um,
What did I miss, in short?
I had a talk with Seltharis.
He avoids eye contact at the name.
Yeah.
About her mother. I don't have to help. It sounded like you needed help.
That's about it. Trained more with Black Rose before that. Stayed in the mansion tonight.
Sounds like a good use of time.
Mm-hmm. You, how about you?
It was eventful, and I will leave it at that. Nothing for anyone else to worry about.
No. I know what you saw. Let's agree to keep that between us.
I don't believe either of us saw anything.
Good. We really need to do something about the reappearing thing.
I'd love to, but it does seem rather out of our hands.
We're pretty powerful with a
We
joint
were pretty
effort.
powerful when we tried the first time.
There must be something we haven't tried.
Well, I'm open to ideas, but I don't have any of my own. Awkward silence shall commence.
I assume so.
Okay. in the face of the awkward silence, are you going to stay here and get a food, or are you going to head up to look for the others who are not down here?
I will stay and get a food. I
Alright.
imagine we'll be down eventually.
You remain and get a food. Alright, so, party who is all together, so everybody except Cyrus and Leah. Sanctum and the mansion are recast, and Lara, you plan to continue working on these notes to figure out whomst to contact. So, party, Yukikaze perhaps especially, how do you feel? What do you think needs to be done about coffers, if anything, or is that something that can wait until he's done?
I haven't really decided yet.
Okay, well, discussion can help decisions be made.
So, are we just gonna grab him with gate, or do we want to like try to figure out something beforehand?
So, if he is with our hopeful allies, and we just grab him from nothing, that seems an aggressive act and a show of force that is perhaps undesirable as an introduction to those allies. Likewise, using gate and then just going to him, bringing him back through the gate and being where he is. A group of people teleporting into the middle of an army is likely to put people on edge.
What do we do then?
Finding the names so that we can begin communicating with them, and then perhaps doing that teleport gate, plane shift, however we can get to them to have an in-person conversation. Seems the most diplomatic approach to me, but there is also the concern of the damage that he can do while there.
If we're not going to aim to recapture him, I don't think gate should be used due to how it, well, has been used previously. And what that might help him prove, even if his requires his leave.
I think this conversation would be telepathic so that the people not around could contribute to it. But I guess there's also not a lot of reason to worry about people eavesdropping because of the sanctum, but we want everyone to be able to be included. I think it would be possible for us to... If it's... The real problem is that we had told the army that he had gone off to continue Bahamut's work, so changing tune to saying that we learned that he was an agent of Tiamat is not desirable. But
It's not desirable, but if we at least say we weren't didn't want to, like, ruin his image and, like, the army's, like, trust or hope in what they've, like, done previously. There's ways to spin that, but still, yeah, not the best course.
I think probably should just first try to get a hold of, or start talking with someone.
so
I was
the
going to
intent...
ask, we've only done one of those checks of the documents, right?
Right, we've done
Yes.
one so far.
Okay.
And just for simplicity, because you were all there talking about it, I'll remind you that Laramendus knows that if he gets all four of you, he himself, his simulacrum, you, and Yukikaze again, then it's possible you could get through the rest of the documents in another single sitting, though be tough. But if he doesn't have all 4 of you, then it's definitely not happening in a single other session.
Well, I'll have to check in, or I'll check in with the army stuff before I do it, but then I'll come help.
And remember that Cyrus and Leah are on the bond and able to contribute to this conversation despite being down eating.
I do only have one 8th level spell, which means that I only have one 2-hour time frame. If we want to complete this today and things distract enough that we aren't able to complete it in 2 hours, the options would be to have the simulacrum do the same thing and use its 8th level spell slot and one of its sorcery points. Or for me to cast my 9th level spell to cast the spell and give us plenty time. Just so people are aware of the resources that might be required.
Alright. I think checking the rest of the documents is good. Gives me time to deal with another problem.
Cyrus, if there's a potentially growing sect of the army that thinks that you sacrificed your life to aid the soldiers in some way, that seems like a thing that should be looked into.
Okay, someone needs to fill me in on what happened.
No one knows.
I don't think any of us know. I think that that's all that Lara Mendes knows, at least. That people are talking about how you gave your life to like heal people.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, the last thing I remember is I went to go find some soldiers that had either missing limbs or, injuries that never quite healed right, and regenerate them. And I remember casting it. I don't quite remember what came next.
I see.
You remember what came next. You end up on top of Raiken.
I don't remember what came next.
It's all a blur. Mind blank. Great spell.
Those are bad memories I did not.
And then, just kind of, woke up on the outside of town, didn't want to wake anyone up as they came back in, so just, open up the house box on the Edged Island. Use that. It's great. Great time.
You just, everybody can somehow feel Raiken through the bond just seething. For no reason at all. Just seething.
It's as if I can feel his anger.
I think verbally, Laramendas will say to Raiken, "Is this something that we should talk about?"
No, not at all. I just need to get with Cyrus for a second. We'll be fine. It's okay.
Do see that things get worked out.
Oh, we'll definitely work things out.
I don't know how concerned Laramendas should be. That is a 17 insight.
Leah wishes headphones were invented.
So are you if you're trying to conceal your real feelings from Lara Mendes, you're gonna need to roll deception.
Let's see, what's my deception? I mean, it's not bad, but it's not good. Oh god, yep, that he did not hide it all. Wait, I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Remember that I think you are one of the people who has 2.
No, I think I only have 1.
Okay.
I think it was wasn't it just Vendar and Jebel that had 2?
I have
yeah.
to.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Haha, 20.
Okay. I think Laramendas it does not get your like what your true feelings are, and I think he's probably at that point content enough with your statement and trusting in the fact that the people that he has thrown his life in with are adults. More not
Wow.
trusting, sort of praying.
I'm afraid.
That's a lot
A
of
bunch
trust.
of like early 20-year-olds.
I mean, when the 14-year-old is being more mature than the adults, I'm not sure I can trust your feelings. It's a very bold
Maybe a bit
assumption.
of a stretch to call us adults.
Laramentis never did
Blair's
any
the
such
only
thing.
one. He's trying to corral us all in.
Herding cats.
I'm going to refrain. This is over the bond again. I'm going to refrain from beginning my spell, Yukikaze, until you're free of your duties, to maximize the time of everyone there, assuming that, Jebel, you're willing to spend some time assisting again.
Alright, sounds good. I'll try to get things situated quickly.
Blank there for a second.
Larmendis had been wanting to confirm that Jebel was also going to assist with searching through the documents.
Well,
Okay,
definitely.
So, Yuki is going to spend some time with the army. Leo's going to spend some time with the Black Rose. And then at least the 3 from last night are going to get started on diving back into the research. So I guess I'll ask Raiken. So, this little huddle up breaks up as you figure out what the priorities for the day are, which seem to be research. So that leaves Cyrus on the bond.
Well, Raiken's going to go down and get some breakfast.
Okay, you go down to get some breakfast, and are immediately able to see Leah and Cyrus, finishing up some food.
Ah, Cyrus, just who I wanted to.
I assume this is not set on the bond.
Nope.
Cyrus, we were just finishing up a lovely breakfast, and Raiken appeared. Raiken has found you. He looks displeased. Or he looks pleased. I'm not really sure. How do you look, Raiken?
Displeased.
He looks displeased.
Well, actually, no. He's put on a face for Leah.
So allow me to reenact what happened on my side, not realizing I couldn't talk. Hi! I haven't seen you since I reappeared. I really must be going. And then I imagine I get caught on the back of my shirt. Darn the short legs.
Yoink.
No, Cyrus, please don't. No, please stay. Raiken's going to grab a hold of his shoulder.
Yoink him up into the air, plop him back on his chair. It really just does seem to be a nice day to stay inside and talk with friends, doesn't it, Cyrus?
No, it doesn't. Also one thing I was trying to say before this on the bond, but didn't realize I couldn't talk. I was trying to warn the party that I potentially have aboleth problems.
What?
Sea creature fought in the Underdark. I made things personal. Very poor decision.
Sounds like you made a few poor decisions.
Look, I panicked. And, an aboleth was pissed off, among other things. But, I don't recall anything recently, if you don't.
No, see, I recall things very crystal clear.
Not sure why you'd want to do that.
Believe me, I wish it didn't happen.
Me too.
What
I'm not.
did your mom say?
Just that my life is very exciting. Before she got, then some other things before she got cut off.
You ruined a good night.
I didn't mean to. I never asked to show up where or when I do.
You
Out
could
of
have just
character, I'll
stayed in
be
the ball.
except for tonight, because this was in fact my idea. Except for when I'd be appearing. Had no clue about that.
I knew there'd be a good time.
You were doing just fine in your ball.
Look, I didn't know I was in a ball. I just knew it was dark, and there was something to pound on. If I was in the ball, why didn't you, like, chuck it out of the room or something?
I put it in my bag!
Oh, great, so I could suffocate after 10 minutes. Because I'm assuming you'll last that long, but I suppose I don't know.
There on the ball.
Hold on, Leah said something.
No, I was gonna do a very bad joke.
Oh, okay. While I have a moment here, they are having this out loud, not on the bond, at the table. Are you going to just stay and watch this, Leah?
Oh no, I'm way out.
Oh, you're way out.
Vendor followed. He's hiding in the away because he wanted to see what happened.
I'm trying to be polite and coy about this to start with, but if he wants to have it out, okay, here we go.
Continue.
You know, I will look past this transgression. If I get to have a nice solid punch to your face.
Why would that help?
I think it would help very well in getting my frustration out. And then you don't have to worry about anything else, because then I will have gotten my frustration out.
Could you punch the simulacrum instead?
No, the simulacrum did not screw me over last night. It's just one punch, Cyrus.
Fine. I'm lying through my teeth. I need to crouch down and subtle cast mirror image to look like I take the punch. Like a minor image.
Does he come and goes for the gut instead?
That works excellently. Raiken, you're going to wind up and throw this punch, and there's going to be this image of Cyrus that very convincingly looks like it takes the hit, except that you pass through it because it's an illusion and stumble into the wall.
I forgot about that part. Okay, fine. Let's do this someplace out of sight. Military hoopla and all that.
Poopla.
Now I might have to punch you in the balls.
You do realize I could bite your arm off. I by no means have to take this. I am trying to be nice and make up.
I mean, you do have to take this.
No, I don't.
You think your dragon form scares me?
I don't care. I don't need it to beat you.
Big words.
Those are big words.
I think I see a spark on a.
Sounds like a challenge.
Put that to the test.
But if a slug to the face or arm or something not as sensitive as what you need to make yourself feel better, fine.
Why? You'll heal up.
I can't do that. Actually, no, because I gave away the one in case I disappeared. So yeah, no, I can't do that.
How do you not heal? You can heal up.
I can do it with one spell slot, which I need to deal with the other problem I have going on right now.
What's the other problem you have going on?
So telepathically, the Aboleth. We covered this.
Oh my god.
I think he thinks the Aboleth is a bigger problem than you are.
We've killed it once and it's still being a problem. So,
You're losing to a fish monster, Raiken.
Raiken
Raiken
that's scared of a bigger dragon than I am.
Raiken without any warning is just punching him in the face right there.
All right. I'll say he's distracted, so you can make the attack roll with advantage.
I mean, he can just hit. Like, I'm not gonna try and get out of the way of it. I agree to this.
All right.
Okay. I mean, it was gonna be
check for crit.
A 25 anyways, but no, it was not crit. Though technically, I could use my ability. Just to have a chance.
You could, but you're already getting, like, the extra 1d8 smite damage. For just interrupting you in something that I had no choice in.
Oh, very well.
Or excuse me, 5 radiant, 7 bludgeoning.
Alright. I will mark that down as soon as I go re-grab the dragon hit points, because I forgot to uncheck the box to reset hit point changes.
I forgot to do the long rest thing. I mean, all it does is bring back 1 spell slot, so it doesn't really. It's not that big of a deal, but
so
still.
that brings us to 10:30. So everybody make sure that you got your long rest. It is now the next day. Everybody got a long rest. And we'll get up here next time as the party goes into research mode and then determines if they're going after coffers today or another day. Alright. That was eventful. Thank you all for being here, and I'll see you the next time we meet. On Everybody Loves Raiken! Bye, stream!
Nice.
Bye.
If I end up missing the